Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Brandon here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guests are Sarah and Jason, and they're selling their affiliate business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, Sarah and Jason, and how are you both doing today?
We're good. Thank you, Brandon, for having us.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, yeah, it's really great to have you both on the call and discuss this business that you've created. But before we get into the details about the business, let's give a quick general overview. So it is an affiliate business in the pet care niche created in January 2014. The average monthly revenue for the business is $5,226 and makes an average of $4,774 per month in net profit. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 52395 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, what's included in the sale is the primary domain and all site content and files, 3 additional domains, which include a .uk, .net, and .org domain, trademark, a 15,000 contact list with various vet clinics, pet bloggers, dog clubs, and others stored in a CSV file, an email list with 1,600 subscribers, social media accounts for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, affiliate contracts, and relationships. So, Sarah and Jason, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, so we've been building and running online businesses probably since, I want to say, 2010 or 2011. Really got into it from the whole kind of smart passive income movement and, not wanting to have that corporate job anymore. And we've been able to build these affiliate sites in various niches and live off that income, which has been really cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome that you came from that type of background. Sorry, did you have something else you wanted to add on to that, Jason?
No.
Got it. Yeah, it's really awesome. With this particular business, how does it primarily make money? Is most of it coming from one primary source of affiliate, or is there multiple affiliate networks that you guys are working with?
There are multiple affiliate relationships, I guess you would say, that we work with. We actually have gone direct to the, sometimes when you sign up through an affiliate program, you're not getting kind of the best rate. So we actually have direct relationships with the various companies that we work with. And so we have a wide variety. I would say most of the revenue just comes from the top listing. It's just an essence of the way that we have the site. It's kind of like a ranking. So the top partner usually gets the most of the revenue, which has happened whenever we kind of switch out whoever's at the top. That's who typically gets the most revenue from us. So
yeah, that makes sense. Now, if the business is doing so great at this time, why is it that you both have decided to sell it?
Well, we just think there's a lot of untapped potential in this pet care niche, and we have kind of a larger umbrella business, and we mostly focus on a different vertical, and we have, I'd say, the vast majority of our business and our attention is there. We don't feel like we've been giving this one as much attention as it needs and deserves. So, we just really feel like somebody else could take it to the next level, but it is kind of that's like our baby. So we don't want to see it not get worked on.
Yeah, I completely understand that. Now, was there anything that you learned with this business that you plan on applying to current or future sites down the road?
Well, I think the best thing that we learned was just really going direct with the partnerships gets you kind of the best affiliate relationship. We've taken out that third party in a lot of the cases, and that's gotten us, a better relationship. It's made it really fun to work on. And, we have really good relationships with the different partners that we work with. And, I think that's been the biggest thing is being brave enough to go outside of that kind of like signing up for the affiliate relationship and really finding who's the contact at the company that I need to work with.
Yeah, that's getting past the gatekeepers, I guess, is the term that they use in this regard. And it's great that you've already built that foundation with this business for someone that's looking to get into the affiliate space, already having those direct contacts. That's very valuable. Now, what are some of the things maybe that you've tried with this business and it just didn't give you the ROI that you were expecting?
Well, I think the thing that we tried that I think is an area of an opportunity for probably somebody else, just we don't have the same we're more of like a growth. That's where our strong suit is in growth. Somebody else that has more of a technical side to them could maybe bring in what we would trying to do with like integrating an API and growing kind of like an email list and just really improving the technical aspects of the site. And we can go over that a little more with, anyone who's interested, but just kind of, I think there's a large opportunity there to really drill into the consumers who are coming to the site and kind of match them to the right part of pet care that they're looking for. So I think that would be a good thing that we haven't really been able to tap into. But I think that opportunity is there. And I think from our conversations with our partners, that's something that they would pay for, kind of a more vetted and better, I guess, qualified partner.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, where would you say that the majority of your traffic to the business is coming from? Is most of it coming through organic search, or are you also running some PPC ads to the business as well?
Yeah, and Jason can talk a little bit about that, but we're mostly organic search, and we did have a lot of success in the past with doing some paid campaigns. But again, since we mostly focus on organic, we didn't have the bandwidth to run that. Jason can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, hey, Brandon, I can jump in real quick. So we're an organic company. 90% of the traffic comes from organic. We ran several campaigns through Facebook, and our traffic and sales really surged. But honestly, we didn't exactly know how to do it because we're not a PPC company. So I think if somebody came in and they kind of understand the nuances of those and how to filter out some of the bad sales versus the good sales, I think there's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're tracking capabilities with pixels and things like that. It's just not really something that we've ever had to do with organic traffic. So something I think there's a huge opportunity in that side as well.
Yeah, I'm sure our potential buyers out there that are listening to this call, they can also see the value in you laying out that roadmap for them. And we'll get into a little bit further details in some of the ways you would try and grow it. But outside of maybe some of the Facebook advertising, things of that nature, are you doing anything else in terms of marketing as far as using the email list or monetizing that or any other traffic channels that we haven't discussed already?
No, although we mentioned, 90% of the traffic is from organic traffic, but we do get the other 10% is through referral traffic through some of these partnerships that we've made outside of, with kind of related pet care services where they actually send, the majority of their interested parties right to our site instead of directly to the pet care partners. So just kind of like that referral channel is also a good one. But we haven't monetized the email list yet because, again, that's just not something that is really in our wheelhouse.
Right. And hey, Brandon, the other thing to consider is the way that our site is structured right now. Someone comes to our website and they pass straight to the buyer. We don't actually have it set up to capture the email. So I think if somebody made some small tweaks, they could start capturing a pretty massive amount of emails on a daily basis.
That's a really good mention. I know when I was looking through your vetting ticket and looking at this listing as well, too, that was something that you had mentioned. And that's really awesome opportunity for a buyer that might have some of that know-how or those skills to come in and utilize that particular strategy. Now, hypothetically speaking, if you both were to keep this business, what are some of the ways that you would personally try and grow it?
Well, I think just kind of what we said. I mean, I think the key piece that we're missing is like a good technical partner to help us implement some of these things. We've also discussed and been in talks with some of the different pet service partners to actually white label and come out where we appear as our own product. So there's a lot of different ways to grow it and monetize it, but they all would definitely take more time than I think we have to put toward it without, I guess, risking the other side of our business. Or you could just leave it as is. Yeah, it's been pretty consistent for the last several years. So,
yeah, with this amount of history as well, too, it's always great to see when you have that consistency over time. And Google always does favor that as well, too, as it's been shown. Now, can you walk us through some of the typical work or the daily operations or weekly operations that you're performing on the business at this time?
Yeah, so the last year and a half, I have to admit, it's been on the back burner. So we still have, I would say, quarterly or every 6 months, we'll meet with one of the pet care partners. We do on a daily basis, not a lot with the site. We add content as we see a hole kind of in the niche, but we haven't really had a dedicated team working on it in about a year and a half.
Right. And we did an initial push with link building, I think back in 2019. We got the bulk of the links. Most of what we're getting now is just natural links coming in.
Okay. Do you feel that there's a particular skill set that a buyer should have prior to acquiring this business, or could most of the workload or the operations be learned during the transition period?
I mean, I think if somebody has general SEO skills, then we could definitely offload, what needs to be done in terms of checking the Google Analytics, looking for the keyword opportunities, making sure that rankings that we have are still holding. But Yeah, so I think anyone with the general SEO skills in terms of ranking websites would be just fine. I think those technical aspects would be an added plus, but not necessary to run the site because it's very easy to run. It's a simple WordPress site with a very easy theme. Anybody who can add any kind of content to any kind of CMS, it's very easy. And you don't need any, I don't think, any particular pet knowledge because we didn't necessarily have any, but I think, it could be helpful.
I think if you were a brand new buyer, though, and you had absolutely no knowledge of the internet, you would need a little bit of, getting up to speed in terms of like, what is link building? How does content work? And so on.
Okay. I think at this price point, you would pretty much, do yourself a disfavor if you didn't already have some of that basic knowledge, especially purchasing an affiliate site where the organic traffic is really what's the biggest driver here. Now, on the subject of maybe investing in this size of a business, what do you feel are maybe some of the potential risks associated with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Well, Google algorithm is always a possibility. So again, most of our traffic's from organic, so it's possible the algorithm could shift. Again, though, we've done no P&Bs. It was all white hat link building, outreach. All the content's unique, and it's been pretty much stable for multiple years now. The other thing to consider, too, with our brand is we get a fair amount of searches now for people looking for our brand name. So I think, we're getting more stable in that regard. But, algorithm's always a possibility.
I think that would be really the only thing that I could think of. Any major changes like Jason mentioned, changing the brand name or something like that could have an impact just because the brand is known under its name. It has already branded searches is a fairly large part of the search now. People actually think that what our brand name is, we are one of the pet partners as opposed to being an affiliate. So that's why we had considered white labeling, things like that. But yeah, I think that would be the biggest risk. You can never 100% predict what the Google algorithm will do. But I will say that despite multiple changes in algorithm updates over the last several years, we've remained stable, even in highly competitive areas where maybe other people we used to see years ago were there, we're still there. So
it's great to see that. And you have that track record as well. And I'm sure our potential buyers out there that are listening to this call can also see the value in that you have established that brand name that's known in the industry and in the niche as well. Now, are you both willing to commit to a non-compete, meaning you'll stay out of this specific niche?
Yeah, I think we have a pretty large business, and so we'd want to discuss really the particulars of that, but I think we would definitely be open to working out whatever, would make both parties feel comfortable, going forward. We certainly wouldn't start like something identical next week or something like that, but I think we would just definitely discuss any particulars going forward.
Okay. Yeah, that's great to hear. And then how much support are you willing to offer potential buyers? Are you going with the typical 30 days of email and Skype support, or did you have something in addition that you would like to add on to that?
Well, I think we're open to that as well. Again, particularly me, I've worked with these affiliate partners that we work with on the site for a number of years now, some of them like 5 years. So I'd definitely be open to helping somebody as much as they wanted, if it was some sort of just a quick introduction or if it's a step down kind of thing where it's a longer transition. It just would depend on whatever the buyer would want. I think we're pretty open to committing to making sure that the site, remains a success and grows over time because it does, it's important to us that happens.
Yeah, it's really great to hear that you're willing to go above and beyond the typical support and making sure that the business succeeds. And I'm sure our potential buyers out there that can also see the value in that as well, too. Now, are you both open to negotiating something like an earnout where you'll receive a large portion of the sales price up front and smaller payments closing out the deal, say, over the course of a couple months after that?
Yeah, that would be fine as well.
Okay, perfect. Now, just a few more sideline questions for you both. So what advice would you give to our listeners that you wish you knew when you first started this business?
The biggest thing I think is I would just go after it very strong and hard from the beginning. I think the biggest thing maybe lacked the confidence or something like that in the beginning to just really like go after a site and, aggressively. And I think that would be the only thing I would say, just really like put your all behind it and, just work hard. And I think you'll get the reward at the end of the day.
Yeah, solid advice. It's something that we kind of hold back, I guess, usually when we're trying to put our effort into stuff. I guess life happens and we can only spend so much time on these businesses. But yeah, really solid advice for our listeners. I'm sure they'll get some value from that and, making sure you just go for it. Now, was there any software or tools that really helped you with managing this business?
In terms of link building, our big secret is we use Pitchbox. We use it pretty heavily. It works great. Again, we haven't used it about a year and a half, but that's a tool that we've found really useful. Other than that, it's just content and WordPress. These sites aren't super complex. You just add content and you get backlinks and they go up.
I wish, that could happen within the amount of time it takes to actually do that, but I guess it takes time. And it's great to see that you guys have already put in the work to build up that time for the buyer. Now, final question, wrapping this up for this call, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think that your business is worth buying?
Well, I just think it really has, I think it's a solid business, and I think it has a lot of untapped potential. It has a brand name, and I think those relationships are really valuable. Like I said, we're not just kind of some affiliate that signed up on the internet that people could just clip. Like, these are actual, longstanding relationships where it's like a partnership where, we're able to negotiate terms. We're able to work to get a mutually successful agreement out of the relationships. I just think that's really valuable, more so than, what I've seen with other affiliate programs or sites where you just kind of sign up and you don't ever have a contact and you don't know what's going on. And I think the industry as a whole that we're a part of is growing massively. So I just think, for me, the big points and why I think it's really valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure our potential buyers can also see the value in that foundation that you've created for them in this business, and ultimately setting them up to make sure that the business continues on to be very successful. And that pretty much wraps up this call. Was there anything else that you both might like to add that I might have missed?
I don't think so. You're just kind of making me want to keep the site now that I talk.
That's usually the case as we do these calls, and you discover, you know what, actually I did a lot of that work and it's going good. Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you both so much for jumping on the call today. Really great to hear your story and how the business has been going and how you built it from the ground up. And I'm sure our buyers out there can also see the value in that as well too.
Well, great. Well, it was really good talking to you.
Yeah, same here. Thank you both for jumping on the call, and looking forward to seeing this listing getting sold for you here in the near future.
All right. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you both. And all right, everyone, thanks for listening. To learn more and to see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 52395. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.